Plastic pollution. Pollution is not a new term for each one of us. And above all, plastic is the biggest nightmare that the world is facing. Hi everyone, this is Midhanil. Welcome to the next episode of the podcast Sustain It. Even though everyone are very well aware of the aftermath of plastic usage, we find it really difficult to get rid of it. Plastics are an inseparable part of modern society. However, their safe disposal is a big and highly challenging issue. A typical UAE resident uses 450 plastic water bottles on an average in a single year, with the equivalent of 43 gallons on an average per person in 2011. The United Arab Emirates had the fourth highest level of bottled water consumption in the world. Plastic, as fast to produce as to dispose of, is nearly everywhere. Its production grows exponentially and its intensive use generates polluting waste. Every single second, 100 tons of waste, mostly plastic made, end up in the environment. And unfortunately, a huge amount is in oceans and seas. Some drift into masses at the water surface, thus shaping very large islands, and others settle on shores. Macroplastics are only the visible part of this pollution. Many other objects of any size sink in the seabed and break up into less than 5 millimeter long particles, are called secondary microplastics. In addition to these, cleaning agents, additives, fibers, and substances released from land-based pollution are found at all sea levels, unfiltered by sewage treatment plants. These particles are called primary microplastic. Macroplastic pollution and the insidious one of microplastic have dramatic consequences for wildlife. While in landfills, plastic emit harmful greenhouse gases, which lead to global warming. When in open areas, animals ingest plastic bags, mistaking them for food. Estimates suggest that 50% of the camels that die every year in the UAE die from ingesting them, which can lead to massive calcified balls of plastic in the stomach that eventually kill the animals. No one exactly knows how long plastic takes to break down, but it is believed to take hundreds or even thousands of years. It is not just the accumulation of plastic that harms the environment. It is also the fragments and toxins released during photodecomposition that pollute our soil and water. Some plastics are designed to degrade quickly, such as oxo-degradables, and while they may become less noticeable, they are still present in the environment. For example, in ocean environments, plastic fragments are taken in by filter feeding organisms. When tiny plankton ingest plastic. Animals up the food chain can bioaccumulate larger quantities. So, while some plastic may be designed to degrade quickly, it is still present in the environment. Floating plastic waste that can survive thousands of years in water can serve as a transportation device for invasive species that disrupt habitat. The UAE government welcomes innovative ideas to ban the usage of plastic. Here we are with a famous environmentalist to let us know more about the problem and how can we solve the problem. Ms. Samantha Aina Kunur, where she presently resides in the township of Kunur in India. An inbound order for travel made her take up a course in travel and tourism after her post-graduation. After an 8-year stint with various reputed airline companies and travel agencies, this program of study helped her to set up her own travel agency, Yatra in Kunur. This made her frequently tour, and very soon she developed a liking for the wilds and God's creatures, both great and small, that dwell therein. This made her take up nature photography in earnest. This soon made her to take up campaigning for environmental issues, and she does effectively through various social media platforms such as Adopt a Forest. Kunur town from 2014 onwards witnessed her founding and heading the movement Clean Kunur, an organization committed to cleanup activities in and around this town. The organization is also fighting against plastic pollution. Her latest venture is beautifying the town with the murals painted by volunteer artists, most of them expatriate IT professionals. I proudly welcome Ms. Samantha to this session to share some information for cutting down pollution. Hi ma'am, I got a lot of information about your organization and environmental activities, but my listeners wants to know more about your environmental projects. Could you please explain?
Hi Smita, lovely being here on your show today. Thanks for having me here. I live in a small town called Kunur, which is in the Nilgiri district in South India. And we fall under the Western Ghats, and we are in a fragile zone, eco-sensitive zone, and seeing the destruction and environmental hazards that are happening here, I decided to go ahead and do small projects. We started as a voluntary group in 2014, and we've grown ever since. Now we are a registered organization, registered about a year ago.
Okay, ma'am. I'm very much impressed about your project, Garbage to Garden. Can I implement this idea in UAE? What are your valuable advice for this?
I don't know what the projects, I don't know how it happens in UAE, but here we had a garbage dump where all the garbage was being thrown. So we decided that we would cover it, and then slowly the idea of doing a garden over it came up. So we've covered the entire place and grown a garden over that, which has taken very good shape, and it's kind of caught everybody's attention. And I think just beautifying it and avoids a lot of stigma that people attach to coming to a dump yard, visiting a dump yard. So we don't call it a dump yard anymore. We're calling it a waste management park because we're handling all the waste that comes in. Nothing gets dumped or trashed or left behind. Everything is processed from here.
Okay, ma'am. So what specific steps you take to spread environmental awareness among the people?
We try to have small talks to student groups, and as far as we are concerned, it's the next generation that has to be really worried about the environment. We are doing it for them. So we'd like to target, that is our target audience. And we try to reach out to them, have little small sessions for them, involve them. They do come and join us in our cleanups from time to time. We have taken them to, we've taken some school students to our waste management park, just to show them the process, just to show them how much of waste people generate. When they generate it at home, they don't realize the volumes that come in. So when they come and see it there, they realize how much waste is happening. So we're just hoping that some behavioral change comes about.
That means, ma'am, you are agreeing students' participation is important in the environmental sector, right, ma'am?
Definitely. They are the future generation. They have to carry this forward. I'm very happy to have younger generation coming forward and participating. It really encourages us to do more if they come forward.
So how far can technology help save this situation?
Technology alone cannot really save us. I think behavioral change is the need of the hour. If we want to tackle littering or reduce reliance on plastic, it is important to make people feel that they are part of the inclusive movement that is supported by the community and relevant to their own lives. Fear or shock tactics and strategies based on shame and guilt are generally not effective and can be sometimes counterproductive as well. So technology alone is not enough. We need to bring about a change in the mindset of people.
How much success have you achieved in convincing the people to become more environment friendly?
We do have groups that we address. So at least a few of them, wake up and realize that they should be the change. And they come forward, join us. So if we can make a difference to a small percentage of people, we are happy doing it. We may not be able to, we can make a small percentage of them realize.
Ma'am, I think you are concentrating mainly that reducing plastic pollution, right, ma'am?
Yes.
Yes. So, what are the activities for the reducing that plastic?
We have a lot of bans in place in our district. I mean, there have been bans in the country and the state as well, but I think our district has been following the plastic ban quite seriously. As I said, we're in a very fragile zone of the country, and we like to emphasize on reduce, reuse, and recycle. Non-usage, I cannot say do not use plastic because I think all of us have got so used to it and we can't live without it. But at least a reduction in usage and a reusage will help to a certain extent. And our bans are quite strict here in the Nilgiris. In 2001, it was brought in, but by 2018, it was implemented in a larger way. So we do not have single-use plastics here, and they do have, the district administration has plastic rates from time to time. They have fines for people using these. So all the single-use plastics, we have a list of 19 items that are banned, and we just hope people implement it a little more strictly and follow up with it. Recycling also is another form of fighting against plastic, so that we do not use too much and throw away whatever is used. At least reduce the usage of plastic. Only when you handle solid waste management, you realize how much of plastic we're using and throwing, and we can't be bothered. From our homes, we just think it's a small percentage, but when you see it in large quantities, we realize. And we are hoping to have a pyrolysis unit here, which extracts fuel out of plastics. We are sending all our plastics to Hyderabad at the moment. We are hoping that we can set up a unit here so that we can avoid the transportation to Hyderabad. And we're hoping that at least 86% of the plastics, the non-recyclable plastics, will not reach landfills and will be processed into fuel.
What are your future plans, ma'am?
Future plans, we are doing eco-restoration. So we'd like to continue with those kind of, bringing back the landscape that was there. Not only planting trees, but even grasslands, whatever was there in the original landscape, we'd like to bring them back. So we did a small marshland rejuvenation with native grasses. And we did desilting of a couple of streams. So solid waste management has taken up a large portion of this year. And we've been doing it only within our municipality. We want to take it to other rural areas, other municipalities in the district, so that doing it across the district will have more value than just doing it for one town alone. So that will be the future plan for the next year. That will be the plan of expanding to the whole district.
Okay. And as a part of sustainable future, UAE government takes a lot of initiatives like waste to energy, great battery challenge, etc. These activities are mainly concentrated in schools. So as an environmentalist, what message do you have for the coming generation?
Reduce usage, recycle. This is your future. We are doing it for you. I think the future generation has to wake up and make sure that they form a sustainable environment, because it's their future and their lives that we are talking about now. So would always be happy to have students, volunteers, younger generation coming in and looking for a brighter future for them.
Time we have. It was such a pleasure talking to you. Thanks for making the time to enlighten us. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Smita.
Today, if we still find it difficult to avoid using plastic in our daily life, we can take some steps to reduce waste. Choose to do our shopping with a reusable bag. Ban the purchase of disposables. Choose bulk product rather than packaged or wrapped one. Opt for non-plastic materials, especially cardboard, wood games, and toys. We can limit the purchase of synthetic clothes as they lose their fibers during washing. Upon placing our home meal orders, specify that plastic cutlery and straws are not to be delivered. Do not throw any waste or cigarette butts out of trash can. After a family picnic, collect and bring back home all the waste to be stored. And last, politely tell the people proving to be irresponsible and uncivilized to pick up their waste. These simple gestures have several and positive impacts. For instance, they encourage business to modify composition and packaging of their products. Each action contributes to safeguarding our planet. its inhabitants, plants, and animals, and the ecosystem on which all living beings depend. Thank you.